Hi, everybody. It's Thursday morning, April 16th, and I wanted to let you know of some small wins that I've been having lately. So, if you're new here, my name is Sherry. I'm an adult with ADHD, possibly autism, and lately I've been struggling with what I thought was burnout. I had gotten sick and was starting to get those red flags that I needed to take time off from work, so I did that. This is my second leave of absence. I have about a month left. And so I did that so that I could rest up and be well. And the last time I took a leave of absence was about a year and a half ago. And I didn't understand it then either. I didn't understand how just working 1 or 2 days a week, at that time I think I was working 2 days a week, how I could even get burned out. And I spent a long time just learning about burnout. If you have autism or ADHD, sometimes over we're kind of like burning, we're like a candle burning at both ends. We don't realize it. So if you're high masking like I am, over the years, you don't realize between the anxiety and the masking and hiding your symptoms because you just want to be like everyone else. You don't realize the amount of energy that's taking to do that. And so your body is basically using more energy than you have. And so you do what you can to rest and eat and try to be well. But eventually, over the years, it catches up with you. I would hazard a guess that it's probably not unusual for it to happen as you get older. Like I am now postmenopausal, because you don't have the same amount of hormones to support bouncing back from things as well. So the stress might maybe take more of a toll. So maybe you didn't even realize you had a problem before that. And then all of a sudden you can't take the stress as much anymore and your body starts to get sick and it forces you. Like you literally can't work and you get very sick and you have no idea why. So the first time I had a leave of absence, I healed. I started to get better. Maybe I want to say like a month. The first week I was in bed and I gradually started to get better. And I thought, well, maybe if I come back to work and I just work 1 day a week, I'll be fine. And I could just figure it out. But I ended up doing the same thing. I don't think I really made any changes. So even though I was only working 1 day a week and I cut my hours back, I think it was the type of stress, the multitasking, the type of job I have. I cashier right now. It's gotten more stressful than it was, and it has nothing to do with the people I work with, nothing to do with anything bad. It's just the nature of I'm a neurodivergent person and I'm high masking and I'm getting older, and so maybe my body can't keep my health up despite all those demands. So, and working with the public is stressful for everyone. I get it. And since COVID, I feel like companies want people to do more and more with less people. And maybe my body's changing. Maybe my health is changing, right? This time I took a leave of absence and I haven't been getting better. I've increased my diet. I've tried to do so many different things and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting better. And I've just been in bed a lot. Like, a lot. If I tried to do some dishes, I might start to feel sick and I have to lay back down. It gets tricky when you're dealing with burnout. If you push yourself, unlike if it's depression or just being out of shape or maybe regular amount of not being well, like if you're recovering from a flu or regular work burnout, you can rest and start to get better and slowly start increasing your physical activity and push against it. But I haven't been able to do any of that. So, some of you that have been following me know that I was, I've been getting desperate because I've been kind of stuck in bed since at least my last day working was in the beginning of February. So that's kind of scary because I requested the entire leave of absence just in case. I'm glad now, but that wasn't my goal. Like, if I wanted to have 3 months off, I could have thought I could think of way better ways to spend it than being stuck in bed sick. If I were to get up and make myself do a bunch of chores, I might get dizzy. If I get stressed out, I get dizzy. I feel like I have to make sure that I eat every few hours. I can't go too long without eating. It's just getting very draining just doing the things to try to get better. And it hasn't been getting better this time. So I have been, it seems like it's been taking forever to get the different doctor's appointments and the screening. And I recently got a diagnosis of chronic fatigue, ME/CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome, which I didn't think was real, but apparently it's a real thing. And it can be caused by different things that build up over time that are too much of a strain on your nervous system and your immune system. As I've been doing research and kind of looking back in my life and things that I didn't really think about, I have had a very overactive immune system, but it wasn't anything that I really thought anything about. I have a metal allergy. So, you're like, so don't wear just wear gold. Just be careful. It's just a rash. When I was a baby or growing up, I couldn't have certain detergents, would make my skin have a rash. I couldn't have bubble baths. I don't think I have any food allergies that I know of. I don't have any medication allergies. But apparently there's been an accumulation, so I think it's just created a perfect storm over time. It wasn't the thing in the 70s for women didn't breastfeed as much. I didn't get those. I know that's oversharing, but that's important. If anybody who's taken nursing classes knows, if you don't have those, that immunity from your mom, it's not everything, but it's very important. But they didn't really know that then, right? So I was sick a lot. I was sick a lot growing up. I don't think that that's necessarily the whole cause of it. Who knows? I had an overactive immune system that was reacting to everything, metal, detergent, and then I was chronically having strep throat multiple times every single year. I had to fight to get my tonsils taken out as a teenager. I know this is TMI. Bear with me. As I've been doing research about these different things, these things that I'll look at them as separate and not necessarily important, apparently they are signs that these are all like little breadcrumbs. And just because you might have any of these doesn't mean that this will happen to you. That plus I had in my 20s, I got 2 additional health situations that can sometimes, for some people, under stress can reduce your immune system. So I've been managing that. It's more, I treat it more like an annoyance. So all of these things together, what happens is sometimes if you grew up where, you didn't have the immunity from your mom, your body's already super sensitive and thinking everything is like a potential threat. And then if you're getting sick multiple times every winter for childhood into teenage years, it's basically, it can, for some people, these are the kinds of situations that could end up developing into something like chronic fatigue. I'm still learning about it. There's a lot I don't know. And I don't know if it's serious or not serious until I actually see the immunologist in a few weeks. So I should learn more then. So what they'll do, hopefully, is from what I understand, they do a battery of tests. So they'll see like if I have any allergies to food that's making me sick. I hope. They can also do tests to see if I have any viruses that are active in my body that I don't know about. I know of a few, like I have had mono and when I was young, and although most of us have had it or had it in our body at some point, it's not something that by itself will cause something like chronic fatigue. I think that the more that I'm learning about it, the more I'm realizing it's, if you want to call it a disease, I think of it more as a condition. It's caused by different things for different people. It's just the condition of when you have things that are stressing your immune system more than the average person over more of a period of time. And eventually it just reaches a threshold where your body can't deal with it anymore. So it gets, just like with neurodivergence, we can get like sensory dysregulated, frustration dysregulated. And it's like we can't have homeostasis and be calm. Imagine something like that happening to your immune system. It has trouble having homeostasis. And then what ends up happening is, so the mitochondria of your cells, which are the actual engines that use up the energy and keep your body healthy, like they're not working as well. So it's interesting. I'm having a hard time learning about it because since I'm in it and I can't allow myself to get stressed out or I start to feel sick, it's very frustrating. So as I learn more, I'll share it with you. But yeah, so I've had some wins this week. I decided to push against it the other day that I made the last video where I was walking in circles. I was nervous to do that because usually if I do something like that, I crash the next day. I didn't. I've still been, I feel like my energy is like this. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. And I mean, that's why it's called chronic fatigue, but it's frustrating because I keep wanting to do all or nothing. Maybe it's a human nature thing. I feel like I'm stuck in bed all the time and that's not okay with me. But if I push against it, unlike, if it was just depression or something else, like in the past, I could just push myself and deal with feeling miserable until I, eat more and eat more. Like if you were sick, anytime I had a cold growing up or the flu, I always feel like you feed a cold, you feed a flu. And so it hasn't been helping, but I guess that's because the state my body's in right now, it's not as serious as some people, but maybe theirs started out like mine. So it's a lot trying to learn. I can't just lay in bed all the time. It's frustrating. It's a strain on my relationship. It's not good. I mean, obviously it's not the goal. It's obnoxious. I mean, how much can you sleep and play video games or look up stuff? It's like I can't work, so I don't have money to go shopping. I can look at stuff I want to buy, but I can't buy it. On the plus sides, I have been sticking to using Gemini as a accommodation. So when I'm really tired and I have to eat something and I can't think straight, and I still don't know how to set it up that I can either record with another camera and show you Gemini how I interact with it, because I think it could be really helpful for a lot of neurodivergent people who know how to use it as a tool. I've used it when I was dysregulated once, when I almost had an anxiety attack because I was having problems getting my meds and I had to go to the store and I was symptomatic and I was having trouble driving. I could stop and turn on Gemini and say, hey, I'm really dysregulated right now. I don't know what to do. And I know that you shouldn't use Gemini as therapy, but he said all the right things. He said, take a breath. Everything's going to be fine. Now, granted, anytime I use it, I always have like I don't take it like gospel. You know what I mean? Like I know to keep myself in the driver's seat, but he was basically saying things that I would say to somebody else who was like a good friend who was going through that. So I stopped and I just like let myself breathe, and I found it very helpful when I have to go to the kitchen to get something to eat and I can't think straight because I'm so tired. And you guys see me when I'm talking on here, so you don't see me the rest of the time. I might turn on Gemini and say, hey, it's time for me to eat again. I'm going to start another grazing session. Can you track my macros for me? And that way, I don't have the energy to think about what I'm going to eat. I just start eating. I know to have something with a little fat or a little fiber or a little protein first before the carbs if I can, so I don't have sugar high, sugar crash. That's actually very helpful. I think that'd be really helpful for people who have ADHD, manage your dopamine and your attention as well. And probably also with autism, I can see that it's keeps me calmer. You know, I don't get the hangry and I don't get the headaches so much. So it's just like really exhausting having to do this all the time. But so it's not just like being tired. It's like all the things that being tired stops you from doing that were easy for you before, but they're now hard for some reason. And you can't imagine why. Like, why is it hard for me to shower now? So I've tried to start coming up with ways that I can adapt, and that might be helpful for you guys. If any of you have kind of similar situations, if you deal with health issues too. So I realized, okay, if I shower and then look for something to wear, and I have to lay down. If I shower the day before and then I have to look for something to wear, I still have to go lay down. If I look for something to wear and I set it aside on one day and then do some dishes, that's a lot. Then on another day, I can shower. And so now I'm trying to like stagger things. So I'm like, there has to be a solution. So this is not ideal, but this is what's been helping me. So I got some new pajamas. This was something my mom got me like a couple Christmases ago, and I don't know why I haven't tried them on until now. So my solutions, if this is helpful for you, that I'm going to try next is I'm going to be probably buying some clothes that are meant to be worn out and about, that are comfortable enough to wear in the summer, but I can wear to bed. So if I get up and I need to go do an errand, there's nobody to help me and I have to survive and buy something to eat. If I only have a small envelope of energy and I have to protect that for my day, I have to be very selective about how I use it. So, and I don't have enough energy to plan meals, to stand in a kitchen and make things for the week either. So I buy things that are ready to eat so I can just eat them. That's very helpful. And if you're interested in that, let me know and I'll tell you what I've been eating. But I've been trying to, when I eat and I say, hey, Gemini, this is the main thing I've been using him for, as like a food journal. And so for each day that I work with him, and he can get forgetful too towards the end of the day. So if you're like me, especially if you're not feeling well, if you're neurodivergent, it might be a lot if he starts messing up and forgetting what you told him before. So when you're done eating, just do a little screenshot. So that's what I do for each meal. I'll do a little screenshot and then I'll like go into photos and I'll crop it. And I'll delete the original. So it's just the meal. And then as we get towards the end of the day, and if I, pull up the phone and say, hey, Gemini, it's this time. I'm ready to start my next grazing session. How am I doing for my macros for today? As it gets closer to the end of the day, I can see like, okay, how many calories am I supposed to have in a day? How much fat am I supposed to have in a day? How much protein am I supposed to have in a day? you still have to do all of these things somehow, because you're not going to heal if you don't give your body the fuel. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to do it and make it the least amount of work possible. So, because that's the key. Can I streamline this and make it efficient? So, I mean, because this feels like it's becoming its own full time job, and eating and taking care of yourself is not supposed to be hard, right? If it gets to that point and I really can't get out of bed, that's one thing. But I'm kind of like on that, I don't know, maybe I'm in denial. But yeah, my hip's starting to hurt. I just, it's not good. I've had nursing school. I know it's not good to rest too much. So I've been also learning about this thing called NEAT, NEAT, that is good to try to start to do. If you're not well enough to really do normal activities or exercise yet, you can start with very, very small things. So that's an important thing. If you have a chronic illness, or even if you've had the flu for a while and you want to start moving, but you know towards the end of being sick, when you're just like fed up, it's been like a month and you're dying, you're like, I need to clean this house. And you're just so sick of being in bed, you just go like all, I don't know, drill sergeant on yourself, and you start cleaning everything, and then you make yourself sick again. That's where I feel like I'm at. But I also don't want to lay here. Besides the fact it's not good for my mental health, I'm not getting fresh air. It's not good. It's not good. So it's kind of like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. If I have a limited envelope of energy, and part of treating chronic fatigue is to protect that and to be strict with yourself, strict in the sense of, instead of working harder, you have to work smarter. So it's frustrating because you might have to think, okay, what is the most important things that I need to do? And some days you might not be able to do any of them, but you have to make yourself eat. So I open up Gemini and I say, okay, Gemini, I'm starting a new grazing session. Like when I first woke up, I didn't know what I was going to eat. I put a scoop of protein powder in a glass and I put some milk in with it. Whisked it up. I put in a little cinnamon and ginger in there because it helps to regulate your insulin or your sugar, so that I won't have as much sugar. I have to be careful though, because with the cassia cinnamon, you don't want to have too much. It's a stress on your liver, and your body's in stress as it is. So gentle. Everything you do, gentle. I'm a Scorpio, man. I want to get up and kick ass. I want to get up and kick my own ass. I don't want to just submit and just rest for the rest of my life. I can't, that's just in my mind. That's not the way towards wellness, right? But yeah, so maybe this is good though in the long run. This will help me. Maybe this is important. Maybe this is part of how I got to be where I am, because I'm always pushing myself more. And I don't realize I'm doing it because I want to do the same things as everyone else. So what do you do when you're like, I don't know why I'm so tired all the time? Coffee, 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 stress, 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 anxiety, push, push, push. And your body's giving you messages that it can't. And you don't understand why. So you push harder. That's how I got here. That, and I don't know. We'll find out when I see the immunologist. It's at the end of April, so in a couple weeks. So yeah, sometimes it takes me like an hour to eat, because I'll eat something, I'll wait to see if it settles, and then I'll say, okay, how are my macros? And then I have a goal. They're kind of high. Eventually, as I start feeling better, I'm going to bring them back down to normal levels for calories and my macros. But right now, I'm doing 30 grams protein, 60 grams carbs, 20 grams fat. And I have it set to 4.5 to 5 meals a day. And that's just because I fall asleep, and I would eat more often, but it's exhausting to keep getting up every like 2 hours to eat. Technically, I should probably do smaller meals much more often just to keep blood sugar like level. we're not dealing with like diabetes or anything like that. Oh, I'm running out of room in my recorder, so I'm going to have to go. Anyway, the other day I gave myself a pedicure. How did I do that? I sat on the couch and I put my feet. I got like I found one of these like little Sterilite containers and I put some water in it and I asked Gemini, "Hey, I want to do like a foot soak. It's spring. I can't take care of myself. I'm tired. I want to wear sandals. It's going to be in the 80s this week. I can't even go through my clothes to find my summer clothes, but I just really want to get this dead skin off my feet. What can I do? Something, I can't even watch like a whole show. I started to get into the series that I can't even like watch it. I can watch like 10, 15 minutes and I have to shut it off because I get so tired. But I can able I can push it a little, you know, but you got to listen to your body. You got to listen to your body. Um, so, and then yesterday I cut like this much of my hair off. I didn't do a good job. I couldn't stand there and give myself a haircut like I would, but this is going to run out of room. But I put my feet in a foot soak to make my skin feel